Virginia Congressman, Democratic Congressman Eugene Vindman is joining us now. He's a retired U.S. Army colonel and member of the House Armed Services Committee. Congressman, thanks so much for being here with us. First, I just want to get your reaction to this as Jeremy Diamond called it, an earthquake in the Middle East that we now, Israeli sources saying that we believe that they can determine that the supreme leader is dead in Iran.
Well, look, I'm not going to be shedding a tear for the Ayatollah or for the Iranian regime, who's been responsible over the course of the last 47 years of more American deaths than just about any other regime, and in also wounding my own twin brother who was deployed to Iraq by an EFP. What I will say is that this president has become enamored with war, and he's using something like a hope as a strategy. He's hoping air power is sufficient to change the calculus of this regime. He's hoping on an uprising. And what I'm not seeing is anything that resembles a plan on a country that as large as Iran without any boots on the ground. I'm frankly skeptical. And that's in light of last year's claims by the Trump administration that they had already destroyed, obliterated was the terminology they used, the Iranian nuclear program, which was obviously a lie.
And we are getting word now that there are cheers and celebrations happening in the streets of Tehran now that the word is starting to spread. To your point, the question is if the objective is regime change, as the president has indicated, telling the Iranian people it is theirs to take back. There are questions about how logistically that happens. How do the Iranian people do that? Do you have concerns about that? And what do you think how do you think the U.S. should support the Iranian people?
Well, that's really the ultimate question. So we know that this war was started illegally under international law, and under domestic law, the president had an obligation of taking his case to the American people and to Congress. That's in the Constitution. And now that we're here, that president once again is hoping that there will be an uprising. Well, we just heard that there is a standing million-man army that is largely remains in place. You've decapitated some of the leadership, obviously, but the army remains in place. They have nuclear breakout capability that is potentially only weeks away from creating a device, and they have the ability to shoot salvos of missiles. And so how long are we willing to commit American blood and treasure to this endeavor? We don't know, because the president has not made his case to the American people.
And knowing all of that you just laid out, there is also the possibility that the Iranian people do rise up. And if good comes from this in that way and allows them more freedom, the freedoms they were trying to protest for, that thousands of them were killed for, what would you say to that?
There's nothing more that I would love than the Iranian people to rise up and overthrow this horrendous regime, which again has been a destabilizing force across the Middle East and across the world. But what I'm not seeing is a plan for that to happen. And I didn't see the case made for why it was necessary that we strike now. So this president, the list of his military conflicts now is literally an arm long. You've had 2 strikes in Iran of significant nature, this one being a war, obviously, Nigeria, Yemen, Venezuela, the Caribbean. This president is more than happy to put American blood and treasure on the line. In fact, he said yesterday, the lives of courageous Americans may be sacrificed. Well, he seems too willing to make that sacrifice that the service members and their families will bear, and one that he was never himself willing to make.
All right, Congressman Vindman, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time.